Hey, oh, I'm not used to having my phone like this. The lens is up there now. It's usually over there. Um, hey, welcome back to Sensory Sense. This is episode 27, and today we have a special one. I've been sitting on this one for probably about a week now. I was looking for a good time to do it, but I found it, I think, and you guys might like this one. This is from a brand called Oakcha, and this is their oud collection. It says private collection on the box, but I believe on their website it goes by the oud collection, and it is a set of 6 different scents. First up we have Sand and Sea, then Gulf Pearl, and then, give me a second, I'm struggling to read this, Red Katara, and following that we have Mystical Oud. That's 4 out of 6, and then the 5th one is Garden of Lucille, and the 6th one is Ocean of Gold. Now I wore the Sand and Sea one today, but I'm going to review all of these in this video. I've worn pretty much all of these over the last few days. I like to put a little bit of, maybe 1 or 2 on at the same time just to try it out, But this one, Sand and Sea, it really, I gave it its own, its own debut today, I guess you could say. I wore it on its own today, and it was quite nice. In fact, these guys, they use something, instead of the typical like eau de parfum or eau de toilette, they have this form of, known as, I think it's extrait de parfum. Give me a minute here. I'm going to actually look up the website so I can give you guys good information on this, because I'm not good at, picking up scent notes just off the top of my head. But, that's where the internet comes in. That's where their own information comes in. You know what I mean? So give me a minute here. I'm just trying to find the page for this. Okay, that's not looking good. Give me one moment. Technical difficulties. Okay. So I heard about these guys through, I think an Instagram ad maybe, or maybe a YouTube ad, something like that, and it definitely caught my attention because I'm a fan of oud scents, oud-based scents, and on top of that I was looking for something to replace my Vince Camuto oud with. I was hoping that one of these would be similar, and I can't say any of them are similar, but that's okay because they are all unique in their own regard. So this one starts with the Garden of Lucille, but I'm gonna go in with these in the order that I have them in the box. So this starts out with Sand and Sea. According to the Oakcha website, it reads, Sand and Sea is an oud floral fragrance. The fragrance opens with mandarin and peony and evolves with notes of Bulgarian rose and cedarwood. Dries down with the scent of sandalwood and oud, and I will be honest with you, I don't quite know what Bulgarian rose smells like. I'm going to assume it's just pretty much essentially regular rose, and right off the bat, just smelling it from the dabber, which it's another thing I like about this. The lid itself is like a dabber. There's a reservoir in here. Sorry, my hands are gross right now. Yeah, work is dirty. Anyhow, there's a reservoir in here that holds a good amount of the cologne, and you just touch it on your skin and it leaves a nice drop, a nice manageable drop, and put like 4 drops on each wrist or so. But I'm going to use my patented toilet paper test with this one because I just want to get the good smell. I don't really want to wear these before bed. I mean, I totally could, but I don't want to be wearing 6 different scents at once. As fun as that sounds, it's just not practical. It's going to be a long video, by the way, so I'm telling you guys that now. Anyhow, Oakcha, Sand and Sea. I'm going to try to give these, the typical type of review I do with, like, Fragrantica articles and whatnot, but it's going to be easier said than done with the fact that there's no suggestions as for time of year that they're best worn for on here. Oh wow. Give me a minute here. I forgot to get some in the actual dabber. Yeah, there we go. Now it's full. Right off the bat, though, it's definitely a citrusy scent to it, like floral and citrusy. I believe that is the Mandarin peony. Yeah, it's very, very captivating. It's one thing that's stuck in it. It's a good all-day lasting scent too. I'm gonna say it right now. These guys definitely know what they're doing. Guys, girls. The company. They know what they're doing. Yeah, this one is really nice though. This one, I know it isn't. There's, but it reminds me of there's a brand of soap I like using. I mean, they have this one called Citrus and Sea Salt, and it smells kind of similar to this, but not exactly. But anyhow, yes, there's definitely mandarin in this, and there's a floral note coming through, which I believe is the peony. Peony, I don't know how it's pronounced, to be quite honest with you. And the middle notes of Bulgarian rose and cedarwood, those shine through. Like those come through as well, even on the top. Like you don't really need to wear it to really catch that. And the sandalwood and oud, those, surprisingly, despite being base scents, those do come through pretty well on the top as well. I'll be honest with you, this is one brand so far that I've tried that you can like pick up all the notes all the way through. And yes, as you wear it, it does evolve to become more of, specific notes as opposed to the top notes, because as you know, fragrances, they evolve as you wear them, you know what I mean? Or depending on how you want to look at it, devolve, but I'd say evolve, because it's a nice way of looking at it. They change as you wear them, and they're also different depending on the person wearing them. What's the word? Body chemistry. But I'm gonna say, enough talking about that. I'm gonna say this is probably a good fall winter scent. I mean, it is very, very, what's the word? It's kind of spicy. It's sweet, it's floral. It is very unique, I'll put it that way. I can't say I've ever really smelled a cologne that smells like this. Which is nice. I like having unique scents, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I'll give this one a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, yeah. 8 and a half. I'll put it that way. This one I could wear every day and be pretty happy with. And as for what could be better with it, I don't know. It's pretty decent as it is. It's pretty good. And I especially enjoy the longevity of these guys. Of their excuse me, their extrait de parfum. That's what it is. And speaking of, what that is instead of the typical like Eau de Cologne, which is like 2 to 6 aromatic compounds, 2 to 6% aromatic compounds, I mean, Eau de Toilette, which is like 5 to 50, between 5 and 15% aromatic compounds, and Eau de Parfum, which is 10 to 20% aromatic compounds. This is between 30 and 40% aromatic compounds. So this is like, it's potent. It is very potent, and like 4 drops will last me at least, I want to say like at least 6 hours. But anyhow, next one up we have Gulf Pearl, and this one reads, Gulf Pearl is an oud spice fragrance. This fragrance opens with saffron and cardamom and evolves with notes of rose and ylang ylang. Interesting. Dries down with the scent of patchouli and oud. See, I'll be honest, I'm not much of a patchouli type of guy, but if it's done right, if it's not too excessive, I'll wear it. I don't mind it. But if it's primarily patchouli, then I don't find it too appealing. But anyhow, this one, right off the bat, opening it up, it is pretty patchouli-ish. I'll put it that way. Even though it says it opens with notes of cardamom and saffron, it is quite patchouli, pretty patchouli heavy, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's right off the bat, I can tell you it's not my favorite, but it is good, and I know there's a lot of people out there that would like it. It's just not exactly for me. And I think this is the one I was wearing the other day. That kind of reminded me of Tom Ford Amber Leather, I believe it is, or Ombre Leather. And that's not a bad thing. It's like okay, you know what, don't even quote me on that, because I'm not 100% certain yet, because despite having worn all of these, I'm not still quite 100% familiar with them. But this one, right off the bat, like I said, it is pretty patchouli heavy, just on the top note, surprisingly. Saffron and cardamom, let's see. I do pick up that rose right away too, which is interesting. Sorry, I'm just reading something here. Anyhow, yeah, there's some cardamom in there. Yeah, the saffron is pretty mild, but not in a bad way. You know what I mean? It's good. But the patchouli, man, it kind of shines all the way through, surprisingly, for being a bass note. But I guess that's kind of what a bass note is at the end of the day. And oud. Yeah. The oud is there for all of these. Like, there's no question about it. It's potent. It is potent. I'll put it that way. But yeah, ylang ylang, I'm not honestly sure what that smells like. Give me a moment to educate myself, because I am not familiar with that. I don't own very many fragrances, or I don't think any fragrances that have that note in it. I've heard it talk of it, but I'm not familiar with what it is. Give me a minute here. Sorry, I don't mean to waste time looking up, scent notes, but I like to know what I'm talking about before I try to compare it, So, ylang ylang is a rich floral sweet note with a nuance of banana, woody, dirty, sour nuances. I'm going to assume they mean like earthy. And yeah, I get that. There's like an earthy kind of sourness to it. It's a very interesting scent, I'll be honest. It is very unique, and I would say this is also probably pretty good for fall and winter. But you could probably maybe get away with it in spring, like early spring, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'd say, again, the scent notes are very accurate. And this one I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. That one I probably wouldn't wear as much as Sand and Sea, but it is still pretty good. And no, I do take back that Tom Ford ombre leather comparison. That's not quite accurate. I was mistaking it for Garden of Lucille, I believe, because that is an oud leather fragrance. But anyhow, on to the next one. We have Red Katara, and this one reads, Red Katara is an oud patchouli fragrance. This fragrance opens with cinnamon and nutmeg and evolves with notes of rose and lily of the valley. It dries down with the scent of amber and oud. You do definitely pick up the cinnamon and nutmeg just smelling it from the container. And there's some floral notes coming through that I can't quite describe. There's something kind of musky about it too. If I remember, this is the one that had a pretty good musk scent to it when I was wearing it after it dried down. Just reading through the other ones real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that is that one that I wore that day. It's hard to remember because I like wearing multiple things at once at times, you know what I mean? It's a guilty pleasure, and I try not to do it very much because it doesn't give you a good idea of the scent you're wearing, you know what I mean? It makes things a little confusing. Anywho, I messed up again. Give me one moment. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah. So this one, wow. I don't think I actually wore this one yet, to be honest. I can also tell you this, they do smell different on the skin compared to in the vial. Sorry, I'm not making much eye contact with the camera because I'm not used to it being on the right side compared to the left. Oh wow, folding this over makes it very potent, very strong, and I agree with the oud patchouli part, even though it doesn't read that there's patchouli actually in the scent notes. It's still there. There's a bit of a musky tone to that. I'm not quite sure what it is. Because as far as I know, none of these notes are really musky in any way, which is strange. It's not bad, it's just odd, you know what I mean? Not in a bad way, it's just, what's the word? It's just, you wouldn't suspect it reading the scent notes. Anyhow, I gotta get a move on this because I'm at 18 minutes in, and this is gonna be one of my longest videos, I think. Anyhow, the opening of cinnamon and nutmeg, let's see. Yeah, there's some cinnamon in there. The nutmeg is kind of muted, if you ask me. It's not the top note. I'd say the cinnamon is a bit more overpowering the nutmeg, but they're both there. They're both absolutely there, and they're both very, what's the word? They are very elegant, I'll put it that way. They're very elegant. And notes of a rose and lily of the valley. I'm not familiar with lily of the valley. Sorry, stumbling over my words here. The rose? Yeah, it does shine through a little bit. It's not quite as strong as I'd personally prefer, but it is there. The lily of the valley, I'm not familiar with that either. Give me one moment here. I'm going to look it up. I'm sorry that I need to keep doing of this. Sorry, thinking of lily of the valley and talking at the same time. But I apologize for having to look these notes up. It takes extra time out, and it's kind of a waste of time if you ask me, but sometimes it's necessary. Anyhow, Lily of the Valley reads, a green-white floral note with a soapy, sweet jasmine-like nuance. Yeah, I would say that's kind of going hand in hand with the rose a bit. There's a pretty potent floral middle tone to that, yeah. And the dry down of amber and oud. I mean, you can still pick them up through it, even when it's not completely dry. Yeah, it's not bad. They're, I'd say the amber is definitely there. The oud, of course, they're all oud fragrances, and they're all. It's one of the dominating notes on all of these, which I can't complain about, to be quite honest. But this one, um, despite my not dislike, my uh, not crazy about patchouli, and this one, I honestly, despite it being an oud patchouli fragrance, it's not somehow not as patchouli heavy as the the Gulf Pearl is, and that one still isn't that strong in terms of the patchouli. But anyhow, this one I will give a 6.5 out of 10. I wouldn't really wear that one too much, but it is definitely wearable. You know, it's all a matter of preference, perspective, and what you like, what you don't. Sorry, it stopped recording. I ran out of space. Anyhow, that one I'd say is probably good for like winter, fall, early spring. I believe I said that already, but next up we have Mystical Oud, and this reads: Mystical Oud is a oud white floral fragrance. This fragrance opens with ylang ylang and lime, and evolves with notes of jasmine and peony, and dries down to the scent of oud and sandalwood. So, this one, let's get out of here. I got 2 more left after this. I really, really need to get a move on because I'm wasting space on my phone, but it's for a good cause because I'm giving these a pretty good in-depth review, if you'd ask me. I believe everything that I review is worthy of a decently length video, put it that way. I got this on my fingers. But man, that's right off the bat, that is something different. There's something about this one that rubs me right. Yeah, it's funny, when I first smelled this one, it kind of reminded me of the smell of a pickle. Not in a bad way. It was just unexpected, But it's definitely not a pickle scent. I'll put it that way. It's just, there's a note in there that reminds me of the smell of a pickle. And I like that. I do like that, honestly. Yeah, this one is, like it reads, it is very, floral. The ylang ylang and lime, they do definitely come through right on top. Like, that, it's, that and the oud. The oud also is very, very potent with this one. Like, all three, that's like the first 3 things I smell out of this. It's sweet. It's floral. It's kind of spicy. The jasmine and peony, I'm pretty sure I just looked up peony and I don't remember what it read. The jasmine, yes. It does come through pretty well. But man, there's something about this that really, really is unique. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all unique, but this one, it definitely stands out among the rest to me because it's kind of musky, I guess, in a way, even though you wouldn't think it. Actually, I'm reading the description of peony right now. It says a fresh floral fantasy note. It can't be extracted from peony flowers, so it's kind of an artificial scent. But there's something floral in there, and it's not just the jasmine. So I get what they mean by that, I believe. Drying down with a scent of oud and sandalwood. Like I said, the oud is a dominating note in this one, similar to all the others. The sandalwood, yeah, it's in there. It is definitely in there. But it's not at the forefront. But of course, it's a base note. But anyhow, this one, I do like this one. I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10. And, let's see, what season would this be good for? I think this would probably be another good fall, winter one. But, yeah. I would say fall and winter. I don't know if you get away with wearing that during the summer because it's a very sweet scent. Although I guess sweet scents are pretty wearable in the summer sometimes, depending on what kind of sweet it is. Sorry, it stopped recording. I don't remember actually where it stopped recording at, but anyhow. Yeah, that one you could probably get away with wearing it in, the fall and winter because it's sweet. And not sweet in the way that like a summer fragrance would be, but sweet in the way that you'd expect something like Spice Bomb by Victor and Rolf to be. Anyhow, on to the next one. We have one more after this, but this is Garden of Lucille. And it reads, Garden of Lucille is an oud leather fragrance. The fragrance opens with oud and leather and evolves with notes of cardamom and saffron. It dries down with the scent of ambergris and oud. That one, if I remember correctly, this is the one that reminds me of Tom Ford. Ombre leather. And yeah, not in a bad way. It's my only real... Sorry, I stopped recording again. Anyhow, my only real experience with Ombre Leather by Tom Ford is the Ombre Leather Milestone fragrance, the Cologne. That one I didn't like, but this is like a... I wore this one the other day. This one's kind of like a... I don't want to say watered down, but it's like a milder version of it that's, actually wearable. But there's almost a kind of lime scent coming off the top. That could be the cardamom and saffron. It is very good, though. I do like it quite a lot because it's not anywhere near as painfully artificial as the Milestone Ombre leather was. The leather smells authentic. The oud, of course, it's strong. It's potent. It has to be. However, the cardamom, I'm not really picking up. The saffron, yes. The ambergris, yeah, it is. It's coming through. Give me a moment here. It is very ambery. I'll put it that way. However, it is also quite musky, and not in a bad way. This one is honestly pretty damn good. I could see myself wearing this on a daily basis, to be quite honest. In fact, I might maybe invest in a full-size bottle of this. And I believe their bottles, I think it's 20 or 30 for a 30 ounce, and I think it's 50 for... Hold on a minute. Before I besmirch this company accidentally, give me 1 minute here. I'm going to check the actual price before I talk about things I don't understand. Okay, so the 50 milliliter is 31 on sale. 50 milliliter for 31 on sale, and the 30 milliliters 22 on sale. So yeah, I'd say that's a pretty goddamn good deal for what this is, and how potent it is, and how long lasting it is. So yeah, the leather on this one is very nice. It is. This is going to sound strange, but it's almost kind of like a citrusy leather, if that makes sense. It's very smooth. It's cool, like cool as in temperature. Yeah, this one I do like. I'm considering buying a full size of that. That's excellent. I'll be honest, that is quite excellent. This one I will give a 9 out of 10. This one is very unique, as all of the rest are, but it's unique in a different way. Despite the comparisons to ombre leather and Tom Ford and whatnot, it is still unique. Honestly, it's probably, I've never smelled the actual Tom Ford version of ombre leather or amber leather. I think it is the Tom Ford version, but yeah, it is quite good. This one, honestly, I think you probably get away with wearing this year round. It seems like a very versatile scent to me. I'm gonna have to experiment with that. But anyhow, last but not least, we have Ocean of Gold. This one reads, Ocean of Gold is an oud amber fragrance. Sorry. This fragrance opens up with cardamom and saffron, evolves with notes of thyme and sandalwood, and it dries down to the scent of vanilla and oud. It sounds excellent in theory. I think I've worn this one quite a few times now. Oh yeah, the cardamom is right there on top. And the vanilla, oddly enough. Which is strange, because again, the vanilla is a base scent. But I guess, it's based off of the vanilla, so you're going to smell it. Give me one moment here, I gotta do my patented toilet paper rollover. Yeah, this one is just making sure it doesn't have a scent to it. I thought I smelled something else, but no, it's clean. It sounds bad, but yeah, this one. I spilled a little bit. Oh, that sucks. Oh, more to soak up into the toilet paper. Oh man, I'm sad about that now. That's what I get for not being careful. But hey, I didn't lose that much, so thank God for that. Yeah, the vanilla is very, very not overpowering, but very sharply noticeable in this one. It's on top. It's absolutely on top, even though it's a base note. The cardamom is there on top as well. The saffron, it's not strong. It's there, but it's pretty mild. The thyme, yeah, it's there. It's almost like if you took a fresh sprig of thyme and rolled it between your fingers and smelled it. Sandalwood, yeah, it's not like it shines through, but it's there. It could be a little bit more potent, but I'm not complaining, honestly. But the vanilla, man, the vanilla is right at the top there, and that's really nice. And the oud, of course, like I said, all these, it's all the way through, no question about it. This one, wow, this one, I don't think I wore this one too much. I think I've only worn this like 1 or 2 times now. I'm looking for the top of this. The show must go on. Yeah, this one, wow, I'm really disappointed in myself for spilling that. This one, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10, yeah. But this one I would say is definitely more of a winter fragrance. And like colder fall fragrance. Like right as it's becoming winter type fragrance. You know what I mean? Because it's sweet. It's sweet and it's vanilla-y and it's like, it reminds me of something that you could, I don't know, if you're going out on like a Valentine's Day date, it's cold out, maybe snow on the ground. It seems like something you could wear on that pretty well. Man, it is so good though. The thyme does come through, and it's very unique because you don't find many fragrances with thyme in them. This one I'm going to give a 8 out of 10. It's good. It is quite good. However, I believe the Garden of Luceil and the Sand and Sea are my current favorites of these. That'll probably change the more I wear these. But yeah, currently, I'd say they're all excellent. The only one I really don't like that much is Red Katara, really. But we all have preferences. We all like what we like. We all like what we what other people may not like, but so be it. I'd say they're all worth trying. This set is $12. You get 6 amazing scents with it. I strongly recommend it. In fact, I've already suggested this to a few friends. I don't know if they've bought it, because a lot of my friends are not into colognes and fragrances in general, but me, I am. I got a whole collection, and this is taking its place quite well in my collection. So, thank you for Oakcha for creating such excellent scents and, making them so affordable. And especially as potent as they are, man, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. So if you guys can get your hands on this, I would give it a shot. They have other sample sets too. Before I end this, I'm going to go over those real quick. They have Discovery Collection Sample Set, which has 7 different vials in it, 7 different scents. It's a Signature Collection Sample Set for $12, which is, another 6-piece set. And there's the Jewel Collection Sample Set, which is $20, and I believe those are, if I remember correctly, those are clones of like designer scents. Yeah. Baccarat, Chanel No. 5, things like that. And there's one other one, the Tonic Collection Sample Set for $12, which I don't know anything about, to be quite honest. So they're all kind of like hemp derived, not hemp derived, but hemp inspired. The Signature Collection Sample Set for $12. It is I believe they're all just unique in that one. And as for the Discovery Collection Sample Set, this one is I guess like they're more premium type stuff. I honestly can't tell. I'm reading it, but it's not clicking. And that's on me. Okay. All right. I see now. These are inspired by designer scents as well, like Oud Satin Mood, Angel Share, Gypsy Water, Lost Cherry, Tom Ford Lost Cherry, that is, Baccarat Rouge 540. Okay, yeah, so those are clones as well, but I'm gonna go out on a limb there and say they're most likely right on par with the designer scents that they're inspired by. All of these are excellent though. I'm very happy with this purchase, and I will probably buy a full size of 1 or more of these, honestly. I'd say it's worth it, especially with the longevity, lasting as long as it does, like 6 to 8 hours for me. They're potent. They do the trick. And if you like long-lasting scents that are potent, strong, and you'll be smelling them from like arm distance, I'd say give them a shot. Give them a shot. I don't think you'll regret it. But anyhow, thank you for watching. This has been episode 27 of Sensory Scents with the Oakcha Ouds Collection Sample Set. And tomorrow I'll be back with something else. I'm not sure what. It won't be this long of a video, but 6 different scents. It requires a longer video. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good one. And I will be back tomorrow.